Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled Parents. In today's episode, parents asking me to fly for cousin's surgery. Mom gets mad at me for spending any money whatsoever. My mother low-key spoilt my wedding. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Parents asking me to fly for cousin's surgery. So mom called last night saying my cousin in West Coast is going through a surgery tentatively next week, midweek, and if I can fly out to be with cousin since cousin doesn't have any family members with them. Husband and I are closing on our house this weekend and need to do a bunch of work, paint, cleaning, floors, purchasing large appliances/furniture etc. before we move in. We're trying to sublease the current apartment. We're packing for the move in the meantime. Husband works in person so he definitively can't fly out. I work remotely and also study for my master's so I have assignments and lectures every week to keep up. We might need to fly next week for husband's work too. With all that's going on, I'm not sure how I can manage to drop all these and be there in person for the surgery. Sure, it's possible, but everything gets delayed on my end, leaving me stretched out emotionally, physically, and financially to get my stuff done at the end. Parents talked to cousin's parents and are now asking me if I can fly out there for cousin's surgery. Cousin lives in Dorman, a college town, so I'll need to find plane ticket, accommodation, car and other stuff plus care for cousin, which feels like a lot of unexpected added cost and time right now. Am I being unreasonable with my thinking here? I don't want to be unkind or not be there for family with support, but it's looking tight on my end. Also, does it feel like my parents are just using me to brag to their sibling how my parents are being there for them without actually flying out themselves if they really want to show family support? What would you do here? Note, cousin is an international student here. Cousin's parents' visa just expired so they can't fly here. I was asked because I'm one of the people closest to cousin in distance. But also not so close. A plane ticket next week will easily cost me $800 to $1,000. You already have enough stuff on your plate. Just say no. You don't need to set yourself on fire to keep others warm. If your parents are so concerned, they can fly out. Yep, I'd go with, sorry folks, I can't make it work. It looks like it's going to have to be one of you this time. Have a great trip, and give my best to cousin. Why don't your parents go if it's so important? It would be a no for me. You are closing on your house. No. They needed to speak with you long before now. You have commitments as it is. In addition, if you were available and willing, they should be paying for it. I'm so sorry to hear about cousin. I'd love to help, but I cannot go at this time. Don't explain why, they will just debate you. If your cousin needs hands-on help afterwards, she can stay at a nursing facility or get a visiting aide. Mom gets mad at me for spending any money whatsoever. So today we had a late start for school for seniors specifically, and if you didn't have a ride, you'd have to get there 4 hours early and sit there and do nothing while the other grades did their mock Saturday. I didn't want to do that, so I ordered an Uber. My mom and her BF went out, and I figured they would be out for the entire morning, and wouldn't come home until after I was gone. I was wrong, and they were there, and the Uber came at the same time. They proceeded to get mad at me for spending my money, and I just think it's ridiculous. I am excellent about saving my money, and never spend more than 20% of my paycheck per month. So why is it that I, a teenager, am expected to save all my money? Is that really realistic to expect of a teenager? My mom and her BF proceed to get mad at me and then refuse to buy anything or invest anything in me, including food and basic necessities, even refusing to take me for a ride to places because I have my own money. It's super infuriating to be refused of food and literally anything, all because I spend $8 to get to school. Anyone else deal with this? Yeah, I don't think CPS would like to hear that she is denying you food. Remind her of that. Or better, call CPS and let them remind her of that. Why in the hell is she acting like that? Because you're spending your own money regardless of the fact she still has to take care of you. Make sure your money is secure and not accessible to them in case they want to become total control freaks. Let them know that when they are old and gray and need to be in a rest home, you are finding the cheapest to put them into, so you can save money exactly like they are teaching you. Your mom is responsible for you until you turn 18, or until you finish high school in some states. True, but I think it's a bit ridiculous and excessive to refuse me basic necessities as a punishment for spending any money whatsoever. I just say, okay, well, if you are legally responsible for me till I turn 18, then I guess I don't need a job yet. Or mom can just be glad you have spending money you're not asking her for. I'm a mom BTW and I don't understand her reasoning. Your mother is financially responsible for you. If she does not pay for your necessities like food, tell your guidance counselor or call CPS. She cannot not take care of you without getting into legal trouble. Stand up for your rights. My mother low-key spoilt my wedding. So, there's a lot of context leading up to the drama which I'll do my best to sum up, but basically, me and my partner decided to have a child-free wedding and my brother and mother were absolutely horrified. Told me I was ripping the family apart, etc., ruined my engagement, the whole shebang. Fast forward a few months and my brother has largely moved on and my mother is trying her best but still has an occasional strop about it. Now, the day before my wedding, all hell breaks loose. My other brother, who bless him is the only person who didn't upset me during the planning of the wedding, calls me and says he has COVID. We have a number of vulnerable people coming and can't risk anyone getting ill. I'm really close to him and devastated he can't come. I call my mother in tears and instead of reassuring me that the wedding will still be lovely or anything like that, she admits the wedding will be shit and is largely upset about all the food she's bought that will now go to waste. So I'm furious and we argue. She insinuates that everyone thinks less of me because of the whole child-free shit. She then essentially emotionally blackmails me into inviting my sister-in-law and young niece because if I don't she won't have anyone to talk to. I said I was glad I was going to become a member of a different family, not my finest moment admittedly, but I'd reached the end of my tether. Skip to the evening, I'm heading to my mother's for the night with my maid of honor. I call my mother to let her know we're on our way and she's hammered she can barely string a sentence together. We arrive and I have to look after her, my MOH makes us dinner, we have to collect the flowers without her and neither of us drive. I'm trying to sober her up all the while she's phoning and messaging her friends telling them that my wedding is a disaster. Lovely. I'm so angry by this point I can barely keep it together. The wedding day arrives and, all things considered, was absolutely wonderful. My mother barely spoke to me and we haven't spoken properly since the wedding about 3 weeks ago. No apology, nothing. The kicker is that her response to my brother when he said how hurt I am was to say we're both hurt. So there's a better chance of hell freezing over than her actually taking responsibility for her actions. I'm at a loss here in how to move forward. I don't want to speak to her first because I know she won't apologize, but I don't think I can just brush this under the carpet. Am I overreacting? Not wrong. Your mother will always be the most important person anywhere, according to her. You either need to live with it or block her. Yes. It took me 35 years to realize my mother only loved and cared for herself. She always kept me close, manipulating and getting things her way and tossing me crumbles to keep me happy. After I uncovered a huge lie she told me and used on me for 13 years, I decided to go and see. Best year of my life so far. I am living a light, happy life. I wouldn't have caved into allowing a child because it would ruin it for others who had to leave their kids at home. If she said it was gonna be shut, okay, that's another person off the guest list and who everyone will know she chose to stay home because you were having a wedding for you, not her. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share and we will see you in the next video.